Now, depending on what your area of specialty is going to be, whether you're focusing on privacy in the United States or you're looking at privacy in the European Union, you should get certified. Hello and welcome back to Privacy Professional Training. I'm Fumi. Today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get your first role in privacy. So without further ado, the first thing that I want to talk about is start with transferable skills. Frame your current skills to skills aligned with privacy. If you've ever worked in industries like information technology, human resources, contracts, or procurement, there are a lot of skills that you can transfer that are relevant to some of the tasks you'll be completing in privacy, like due diligence, right? If you've ever done any type of work that's required you to do a little bit of discovery or do a little bit of research, those are all transferable skills that you can discuss when you are trying to land that first role in privacy. So don't feel discouraged if you see some roles talking about, law or legal. If you've worked in an industry that's required you to do any type of due diligence, then you can transfer those skills and you can highlight them on your resume when you're looking for privacy roles. Now, the second step, and this is probably going to be the biggest lift for getting that first role in privacy, is to get certified. Now, depending on what your area of specialty is going to be, whether you're focusing on privacy in the United States or you're looking at privacy in the European Union, you should get certified, because most roles that you're going to find in 2025 are going to either say that the privacy certification is required or it's preferred. And when employers say preferred, we know what they mean. They mean required. So do yourself a favor and make sure that you are getting the certification that's required for the roles that you are looking at. Now, another recommendation that I have for getting that first privacy role is to build experience before you're paid for it. Now, this can come in a variety of different ways. You could join the International Association of Privacy Professionals, and you could become a volunteer for some of the activities that they have going on there. That's also going to bring more networking opportunities to you. For example, you meet other privacy professionals while you volunteer in the different groups that they have. I myself volunteered as a young privacy professional for 1 year, and you can take a look in the description at my overview. I did that in 2021, and I was able to liaise with a lot of other privacy professionals. I will say in 2021, when I was the young privacy professional, that I was already working in the privacy space, but you can definitely join the IAPP as a member, and you can definitely volunteer for the many opportunities that they have there. The IAPP is not the only privacy body. I talk about the IAPP a lot, but the ISACA is another certifying body that offers the CDPSE. And ISC Squared does offer some security certifications, which, if you've been on my channel for any length of time, you'll know that security and privacy work hand in hand. So it may be that you're looking at taking a privacy certification, or it may be that you're looking at taking a security certification, but you're looking to work in the privacy space. So take a look at those 3 different certifying bodies, because they all have volunteer opportunities. Now, the fourth recommendation I'm going to make is to network. Now, if you choose not to volunteer, definitely join one of these certifying bodies. So the membership fee for the IAPP, they have varying levels, but if you're going for the professional level, it's $275 for the year. Now, how I rationalize paying $275 for the year is, one, I work in the privacy space already. But even when I didn't work in the privacy space, I would attend between 1 and 2 IAPP events in person. So that would be between 12 to 24 events for the year. And a lot of these events will come with food, sometimes drinks. It really does depend. And the really good thing is, since we're doing more socializing now, you can really attend these events and you can make some really great friends. Networking is a fantastic way to get that first job in privacy, because sometimes in conversation, you'll meet other privacy professionals who are more experienced, who are looking for some entry-level privacy professionals. And it's a really good way to get your foot in the door outside of having to apply on like a traditional job site. The next portion that I want to talk about is learning the business. Most organizations don't hire privacy professionals just because they understand privacy. They're interested in how privacy is going to make an impact on the business itself. So this really coincides with industry, right? The business wants to see, how does privacy impact our marketing? Now, depending on the industry, let's just take, for example, you're working with a data broker. The data broker wants to know how best to comply with the data protection laws while still allowing their business to thrive. If you know anything about data broker business, it's basically where organizations will obtain large amounts of data related to individuals, and then they'll sell that to different groups based on their interests or business practices. When you're looking at providing privacy professional expertise to this type of business, you really want to look at all avenues of the business. You want to know the business very well, and you want to see how privacy impacts each space, because businesses are looking for value, whether it's a client, whether it's in a consulting capacity, or whether it's as an employee. Businesses are always looking for value. And one of the things I always talk to a lot of privacy professionals about is privacy doesn't bring any money into the business, but it saves the business money. And that's really how you have to phrase it when you're going into any type of role, because a lot of businesses are money making machines. They're in the commerce space to make money. Privacy doesn't make any businesses money, but it does save them money in that they're able to avoid enforcement actions. And businesses want to retain the trust of their consumers because the consumers are what bring in the money. So it's kind of like an ecosystem, which is why you need to know the business when you're trying to land that first role. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is be prepared to tell your story. When you're interviewing with clients or you're interviewing with employers, be ready to explain during the interview process why exactly it is that you are in the privacy space. There needs to be a human component to getting work in the privacy space because it is still a very niche practice. So be prepared to share how it is that you found privacy, the types of roles you've had before that aren't in privacy, but where there are transferable skills that are associated with the types of expectations employers will have of you as their privacy professional. Now, what you'll often find, and what I found personally too, is that a lot of the roles, you may be the only privacy professional in the office. And that happens a lot. So you need to demonstrate that you have a broad spectrum of knowledge to be able to keep the business going, irrespective of the unit that's asking you questions. So if you get a question from marketing, you need to be prepared to provide a good response that's going to ensure that the business is remaining compliant. Maybe you get a question from the product team about a particular data flow. You need to be able to articulate that, which is why certification is so important, and it's really important for you to continue to hone your skills. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to wish you good luck in landing your first privacy role, if that is what you want. If you have any questions about how I landed my first role, leave a comment below and I will definitely see to it. I'll see you in another video.